Hello everyone, I'm Trustic44, also known as Fly, and welcome to this Let's Play of Citizen Sleeper. Last episode happened a while ago and I don't quite remember exactly what I had been doing. It has been like 2 weeks since I took a break. So, let's see if I can figure out a few things. So, we got the Sidereal Horizon, which is almost done. So I'm close to finishing up that. We've got, let's see, Havenage offices are for turning in things. We do have Yatagan data, but we might need it for something I can't remember. That's our house. Dock C4 is waiting for something to come back. That's storing things in. The Bantayan is completely done. If we want to cook things, we can. We've got the Ord Exchange, the Yatagan Dispensary if I need to buy any stabilizer, which I'm good for now. The Ord Fabricator is nothing too specific. Emphasis Stall, I need to get one more Matsutake in order to get that. Let's see. The Tambor Tea House doesn't have anything special on it. Let's see. That's our home. Minji Express has nothing. Castor doesn't have anything for us, I don't believe. No. Rabaya's office. We could do some more here, get more scrap and everything, and get this taken care of. Doesn't sound like the worst idea. Midline Freight Hub? I mean, if we wanted to operate here and get some money, we could. We're pretty good on money. That takes us up, but I don't think we need to go up right now, and that's trading things in. I think there may have been some things we could do over here. Let's see. The farm stacks is, well, getting food, which we don't need right now. The aviary. Ah, we do need to harvest things, harvest mushrooms and the like. That's something we do need to do, and we can. Haifa Labs, we're going to need some more club heads. That's nothing special there. That's exploration, and that's the expansion quest line, which we will deal with at another point. So, I think what I'll do is, I'll do some of this, try and get some things from harvesting mushrooms. That's roll caps. Roll caps and Matsutake. Didn't get any more club heads, unfortunately. And while I can get some spores, that's not quite what I'm looking for. I'm going to need to get more. But I do have enough Matsutake caps that, okay, I have enough of those, I can turn those in. Also, with the extra data we have, we can do a random hack. Which will give me some more Yatagan information, which I can trade in. So we don't actually need the Yatagan information anymore, we can turn it all in. Okay. Nope, that's Castor. We don't need Castor, we need Emphis. Good news, Emphis, I have your broth. Emphis inhales the deep autumnal aroma of the Matsutake caps and nods. He seems impressed. Okay, and that'll take 3 more turns. Not a big deal. Let's go over and turn in all this data. I mean, hey, it's bits of cryo. It helps out. There we go. And now we can head over this way. Actually, we didn't need to head over here, because we have the location over here. Yeah, the repaired unit. Alright, not really anything else to do in here. I'll feed the stray for the sake of it. Why not? And end of the cycle. Oof. Bad rolls. I forgot I could re-roll. Let's re-roll this. 2 5s, 2 1s. You know, I know what I can use the 5s for. I can use this. There we go. That'll give me as many spores as I need to finish up the aviary. There we go. That's the aviary finished up. I believe... Yeah, I can regain some energy here. Use up the dice. Use up the singles for that. And with this last 5... I guess we can do some patrolling around here. In fact, do the collecting of tithes. There we go. Gather up as much scrap as we can. Oh. As you say your goodbyes to the other enforcers and walk back through the low end, a chirruping catches your attention. In a quiet corridor away from the main thoroughfares, someone has stuck a small recorder to the wall with suit sealant tape. Written across the fluorescent tape is one word. Sleeper. You peel it away from the wall, and as you do, it triggers some kind of improvised trip switch. Sleeper, Sabine's voice crackles through. I have seen you with Yatagan members. Are they holding you captive now too? A high whine. I am sorry if I have dragged you into this. Do not trust them. Something is happening within the gang, some kind of power struggle. You cover the speaker a little, their voice too loud in the quiet corridor. I will come soon. Thanks to your efforts, I have located most of their properties. At the right time... A pause. I will see you soon. Don't give up. Remember our deal. The recording cuts out. You stare at the recorder, processing what you've just heard. Hearing Sabine's voice again opens up something inside you. An SNARP employee. Do they know that I know? You struggle with a mix of concern and distrust. You throw the recorder into a nearby waste chute as you leave the corridor, still unsure who to trust, and head quietly out of the low end. There is something else that I think we could do now. We may as well. And that is, well, we can buy the capsule, which actually is relatively cheap. Sure, why not? Rent the capsule so we have it. You hand over the chits and get a passkey for capsule 0451. Time to find which of the identical births is yours. And it's basically the same kind of thing. But also, we may as well fund Bliss. Bliss is incredibly grateful. I'll pay you back every chit, I promise you. You guess you two are partners now. Bliss is bidding on jobs at the hub. It'll take a few cycles and some perseverance before one comes in. Okay, fair enough. Right, let's take some stabilizer. And end the cycle. Now, we may as well continue walking around down there. Ugh. Oh, actually no, those are pretty good. Right, it'll take another 2 in order to get through there. And I think it's going to be another 2 cycles for the mushrooms to grow, so we can't get anything there. No, 3 cycles, okay. So that's going to take a while. Then, over on this side, we have... one more cycle for Emphas. Okay, which means... we can spend this time taking care of Rabaya. Collecting tithes is fine by me. Take one of those. Reroll, that's some nice rolls. Okay, one more of these and we'll have completed this. Which is very good, I have to say. And we've got 8 scrap components. That's actually fantastic. Alright, end the cycle here. Let's see. Ooh, has he finished? He has! Emphis is preparing the Matsutake caps. He cleans them carefully with a damp cloth before shaving the stalks as if he was sharpening a pencil. His knife slides through them, revealing the bright white of the flesh within. "These are good, Sleeper. Very good," he says without looking up. "I bartered with Minji for some kelp too, so we can brew the dashi." "Oh, you know Minji?" Emphis looks up from cutting with a smile. "Everyone knows Minji." Emphis slides the sliced Matsutake mushrooms to one side and takes out a closed pan. He opens the lid and you see the green wafer of kelp sitting in a bath of water. "Been soaking since last cycle," Emphis explains. "Should be good to warm now." He places the pan over the burner and turns it on low. "We have some time now." He wipes his hands clean and throws the cloth over his shoulder. "However, there is one difference this cycle." He smiles. "You've been the one providing the ingredients, so it is my turn to provide a story." "Okay." "Good. This story is important to me." He gestures for you to both sit on the folding stools behind the stall. "You see these?" Emphis runs a hand over his forearm, tracing the circular scars that mark them like perfect bite marks. "Conway called it an anchored interface rig. A mechanical control device for piloting a heavy-duty extraction suit in low-G industrial operations. We called it a bone suit." He points to a pattern of larger circles on his shoulder. "They drill in and anchor it here, then all the way down the arm." He taps each scar on the way. "It maps mechanical movements to the suit exactly, a one-to-one mechanical replication. You swing your arm, a Dunton arm swings too." You should have seen the recruitment vids. Strong people in even stronger suits, tearing through stone and scrap. Superheroes. Half my graduating year signed up, from company school to company shuttle. Conway from birth to death. He stares off into the distance for a moment, fighting with the memories. But the bone suits weren't good. The rate of failures was high, and failures meant arms torn off, anchors torn out, broken bones, bad stuff. So, after a while, Conway discontinued them. No longer competitive, they said. He checks the broth, turning down the heat and adding the mushrooms. So there we were, hundreds of us with surgical alterations for suits that didn't work. They sent us home, back to that company colony that spat us out, to be cleaners, drivers, cooks. They gave us drugs for the pain and told us to make something of ourselves. When I deserted, bribing some passing spacers to take me into orbit, there were only me and a couple of others left. The rest just faded away. Arthritis, osteoporosis. They folded in on themselves like paper lanterns. That was my generation. The anchor points still ache, still burn. He touches the scars. But what burns worse is the betrayal. I've been on the eye a long time now, but that will never fade. Not that, and not the faces of my friends. Emphis reaches over and sprinkles a handful of leaves into the broth. It is ready. I'm sorry. Don't be. It was Conway's crime, and you know better than most what we went through. It is enough that you are here to listen. Emphis pours the broth into a double-walled metal bowl and hands it to you. The heat radiates through your hands, and the smell drifts up, rich and sharp like a pine forest after the rain. You drink the broth slowly, chewing the matsutake and thinking. Emphis busies himself cleaning the pans and the bowl, sealing the kelp back up for another day. Then he quietly comes to sit with you while you finish your meal. Neither of you speak, preferring instead to let the story linger in the air a little longer. It is not that there is nothing to say, it is that sometimes in the moments after something, speaking breaks the spell. So you both idle, eager to be in each other's company, Emphis taking longer over his cleaning, his packing, and you savoring the final dregs of broth. When you both finally finish and hand him the bowl, you feel the spell break and the story leaves you both. And as you leave, You know that both of you are somehow a little more empty and a little more full than before. And we got an upgrade point. 3 of them! Finally, we can do the +2s. And I think I'm going to do endure. So I feel like it's something that'll be useful later on. We still have some points, still have things we're waiting for. I think we can go deal with Rabaya here. We got one more. There we go. This time you meet inside Rabaya's office, although now that you've seen it, office seems like the wrong term. You'll find her stood in an almost bare, shadowy unit midway through a sequence of stretches. There are 2 low stools and a terminal in the corner, but it seems that most of the space is taken up by a heavy punching bag, rubber matting, and a stack of weights. When Rabaya turns to greet you, you realize she is missing an arm. The prosthetic she usually wears is set in a cradle near the terminal, a web of colored wires running to it. "Updates," she says, noticing you looking where her artificial arm usually is. "Nothing to worry yourself with." "Of course." "Sit," says Rabaya, gesturing to the 2 diminutive stools. You both settle on the stools, Rabaya crossing her legs on top and sitting straight backed. "Gia told me you have been doing the rounds, collecting tithes, patrolling the ward." She smiles. "Some of the enforcers are impressed, and I hear you handled a few difficult circumstances. Nicely done." "I wanted to help." "And you did." She closes her eyes for a moment. "I hope you can see how things work here now. A strong Yatagan means a strong low end. Both are woven into each other. I know that for you, life on the Eye has been a struggle, but I hope we can do something about that from here onwards. Though some of our members may not see it this way, I know you too are a refugee. That is why you have come to us." "Enough, Rabaya." Sabine's voice cuts through the conversation. "I am tired of listening to your affected nobility." They cross the room, Rabaya's baton in their hand, the end lit with sparking electricity. Rabaya looks between the 2 of you. "I suppose this ambush was another cooperation between you 2? She looks strangely unfazed. "Stay silent." Sabine pauses, thrown off by your silence. Rabaya takes this opportunity to act. She leaps from the stool and, fainting past Sabine, grabs the baton and twists it inwards. She is by far the stronger, and she pushes Sabine to their knees, plunging the crackling end of the baton towards their chest. They freeze there, Sabine struggling to keep the crackling baton from their skin. "Stop!" "Then you support them?" Rabaya asks you, her eyes not leaving Sabine. "Your loyalties are so easily swayed." "I thought you were more than Yannick's attack dog, Rabaya." Sabine spits back. "Are you not able to think for yourself?" Rabaya holds the baton strong, and for a moment you think she is about to hammer it down into Sabine's chest. But after a painful wait, she throws Sabine down instead, then spins the baton in her hand, thumbing a switch and shutting it off in a single move. "Now what?" They both look at you, each still catching their breath, as if they had forgotten about your presence. Rabaya cracks her neck. "You are lucky I didn't kill you. I would have had every right. Every right!" she shouts, the anger a release of tension more than a threat. Sabine lifts himself a little, bruised from the fall. They roll onto their side and cough. Rabaya gives him some space, sitting back on the stool. Sabine props himself up on their elbows and fixes Rabaya with a hard stare. "You have something to say? Say it. This is your final opportunity, because after this, no coming back." "What's the point?" Sabine breathes heavily. She refuses to listen to criticism of the great Yatagan project. Rabaya collects herself. "Speak." She folds her arms and waits to be convinced. Sabine takes a breath, organizing their thoughts. They go to start, pause, then decide on another approach. Eventually they say it. Yannick is a traitor. Rabaya immediately flinches, her eyes going to her prosthetic arm, her muscles clenching. But she rides it out, more eager to prove Sabine wrong than she is to hurt them. At least for now. When I came here from SNARP, they glance at you, gauging your reaction. It was Yannick who was one of the first to support me, to look after me. I should have known then, but I was naive and afraid. Sabine turns to you. Sleeper. I know that I should have told you I worked for SNARP long ago, but I thought you would abandon me, and you are my final friend. What you should know is that I left SNARP because I was running for my life. I leaked documents on the Sleeper program, on the illegal and immoral practices it relied on, to the press. SNARP wanted me dead, and I fled as far as I could, to this refuge at the edge of the surrogate systems. Sabine stops to collect himself. What does this have to do with Yannick? The Sleeper knows you are SNARP, I told them, and while you hide beneath the cover of being a whistleblower, you and I both know you worked on the Sleeper program. Yannick told me as much. Sabine's face falls. It's true. They glance at you and then away, ashamed. They lift their head. But it is Yannick, not me, who is in the pocket of SNARP. Rabaya flinches again. I can prove it. He made some kind of deal to keep me here, to tie me up in debt, to lock me away. In exchange... Rabaya slams her hand on the desk. Just tell us, for God's sake! In exchange for those. Sabine finishes, nodding towards Rabaya's prosthetic arm in its cradle. He has been using Yatagan and forces, using you as test subjects for SNARP technology. I have the data to prove it. He has been bringing them in under the guise of stolen shipments and having me fit them, knowing each one is capturing data and sending it back to its makers. Rabaya's fixed expression has started to fade. Sabine produces a slate. It's all here. Thousands of hours of usage data, failure rates, error dumps. These are untested implants, Rabaya. They could short out, fail, cause cascading failures across a person's body. And they have. I thought the error rate in the units was down to them being stolen or modified. I've tried to fix hundreds of failures in my time here. Not all of them... Rabaya closes her eyes and breathes in. Then she opens them again. She holds out a hand to Sabine. Show me. Later, much later, when you leave, Sabine is still taking Rabaya through the manifests and usage data. Both of them crowded around the terminal as Sabine leads Rabaya through each layer of Yannick's betrayal. As you leave, Sabine catches your eye, and something passes between you. Something like a thank you or a sorry, or some other expression that communicates both sadness and hope. Oh, that's an upgrade point. I'll need to get another 2. Rabaya and Sabine have been holed up in her office for a while now. What are they planning? 3 cycles to find out there, and anything else is going to take a while. That one's on its way out, so... I guess we can do a few rounds on here. It's not a big problem. Okay, doing pretty good. Your crew slowly filters out of the shipyard locker room, the bubbling chatter reducing with each group that leaves. There's excitement in the air. Havenage just made an announcement. The assembly teams are done. Sat on the locker room bench, you can feel the side reel out there, its hulking mass now intimately familiar to you. Over the past cycles, you have watched it grow, be assembled. You have walked through its veins and welded its bones. Now it is ready for the final stage. It will go to testing now, then enter a final process of sealing and resealing, checking and rechecking before it is deemed suitable for its generational trip. But for now, your work is done. You can't help but feel proud. A cough interrupts your thoughts. It's Lem changing out of his work gear. Mina nowhere to be seen. He smiles. She'll be ready soon. Where's Mina? You two are fast friends, huh? She's being watched at home. Now I'm on the work team. I can afford a bit more help. Was on the work team, I mean. We're all out of a job now. Not that I'm complaining. Lem comes to sit beside you on the bench. She's got to be in her best shape when she carries you, Mina and me out of here. So confident. Len smiles apologetically. Why not? I figure I'm due a lucky turn by now. He rubs his hands nervously. No use in wondering what if until the draw anyway, and there's a few cycles till then. Lem is right, but the odds seem unlikely anyway. How many are working in the shipyard? Hundreds? 1,000? You've certainly seen more faces than you can count pass through. And are the Celis Foundation even going to keep their promise? Out here on the Eye, you get the sense that no one will hold them to it. Why else would they be building the side reel in a surrogate system? As you think, Lem watches you with a worried look. How is Mina doing? Lem is surprised by the question, but smiles. She's doing well. She misses having you over, actually. I need to get you two together again soon. Especially now I won't see you here either. Lem gazes into space. She's pretty stuck on you, actually. She told me the other cycle that she doesn't want to go unless you can come too. You ever been in a thunderstorm, Sleeper? A real big one? I don't remember. Lem shoots you a worried look for a moment. It's something else. The sound, the smell, the rain hammering down, the whole sky stretched out and bruised, roaring and huge. The place I was born, New Pembroke, a dry old rock in a Conway system, had 2 seasons. One of them was as dry as bone, dusty, ugly. The other was one long storm, a side effect of the terraforming efforts, they said. Rain used to rattle off the roof like bullets. It washed the dust away, turned the streets to rivers. It'd sing us to sleep and wake us in the morning. We'd wait half a year just to see it again. The best day was the one where the first drops fell. Some days I wake up swearing I can hear it again. I was thinking, Mina has never seen a storm. Never even felt rain. She's grown up here, the ring, her only horizon. Always in the dark. I want to change that for her. You will. Of course. Almost there. Oh, best get back to the little one anyway. When the shift's done, I reckon she'll be happy to have me home for a few cycles. See you in a few for the draw? I'll be there. Right on. He grins. Lem leaves, making you the last person in the cavernous locker room. As you sit, you think about rain and a little hope creeps in. Is it possible? Could the side reel really take you to a planet? A place with weather, with skies, with life? You get up quickly before you can think about it anymore. It's too soon to hope, too dangerous. There's work to be done. So it'll be another 6 days. Celis are apparently going to start moving the side reel horizon to the hub soon. 6 days for that. Okay, and with this 3, which I don't have much I can do with at the moment, everything we're currently on a holding pattern for. You know what? I can get some more money by just tossing this into the Bantayan. There we go. Excuse me. And with that, I am going to end this episode here. Next episode, we need to find a way to just pass a little bit of time until all these timers are done and ready for us. But that'll be in the next episode. So until then, I am Chester44. I'll say my name is Fanai. This has been a Let's Play of Citizen Sleeper, and I shall see you all next time.